Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Rush, the morning empowerment call for busy executives, heart-centered leaders causing the change we want to see in the world. Happy Monday. How was your weekend? Were you able to pause along the way? Today we're talking about the power of the pause, and we'll get there in a moment. We have a cool week ahead. Thought of some topics. We've got Cara on Tuesday. Cara's been leading our Tuesdays, and it's been powerful and I think very helpful for all of us as we orient ourselves around commitments and promises and how do we take action and the path forward. Got some fun other things going on later in the week. For those of you who are new to the Morning Rush, some new names I see. We do this every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8:30. We have a thing called overtime we do after 8:30 if you want to stick around. And today we're getting into the power of the pause. And as I thought about the power of the pause, it was something I took time this weekend to do nothing for 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, that was hard to do for 5 minutes. And then I did it for a longer period of time and a longer period of time. And I realized it's really challenging for me to do nothing and simply pause. And then I realized there's real power inside of it. It was like I could start to shut things out and really give some conscious thought to how my week went and what I wanted to do for the week ahead and how I was going to approach it. And then, as many of you know, Brickley Moses, my new cockapoo, jumped on my lap and went crazy. And I was like, uh-oh, pause is over. And then I took him and I held him and I gave him a pause because we've been learning how to pause the dog. And when you contain the dog and hold it for a period of time, all that crazy frantic energy subsides and the dog calms down. And then it goes on about its business and is a lot more playful and not biting everyone all the time. Same thing happens when I put him in his crate. When you put him in his crate, he's not happy about it. But when he gets out of the crate, he's so happy to see you. He's like relaxed. He's like a new dog. And that's powerful too for the dog and for humans. So like, how do we pause ourselves? Sometimes power of the pause could be in communication. I was listening to something this weekend on Givers University, and the leader, EA, was saying how powerful it is to pause in our communication. We don't always have to give rapid fire information all the time. We can vary the way in which we communicate. What about pausing relationships? Sometimes relationships need a pause or a step away. Maybe there's a pause in our week or our business. So there's all different elements to pausing and the power of the pause. And I thought I'd bring that in this morning. Cara, I asked you this morning, and you may have a different perspective here. But I said, do you ever pause? So, Cara, I'd love your thoughts on the power of the pause and how you would look at it as being powerful, potentially.
Um, so I was saying, my husband says I never pause. I think I, no, I don't really pause. Like if I'm watching TV, I'm on the computer working or something, like, I'll do some accounting or something like that. Um, and and then I did answer you and I said, if there's a breakdown, that's when I pause to really speculate and see, okay, what's not working here. And if I can't figure it out on my own, I get in communication with someone else. Or
Yeah.
I get in communication anyway because maybe they see a blind spot. Um,
Can you define breakdown just so the
yeah, so in my break, a lot of people, I mean, I'm just going to generalize it. People have breakdowns, the house burned down, that's a breakdown, or you get but in the what I'm trained in, it's a breakdown is something that gets in the way of your commitment to your word or your game, your project, your what you're committed to.
yeah.
So that is the language of breakdown. But however, I really can see breakdowns as a circumstance that just you're impacted by.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, my car, I just got in a car accident. And if in the general language, forget landmark, I can definitely give some generosity that is a breakdown.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for bringing that to
Yeah.
life. Marja, I see you in the chat and you brought in the idea of the power of pausing in speaking, and it sounds like it's resonated inside the chat. Marja, I'd love for you to maybe share about how you look at pausing, and it sounds like it's probably being
Mhm.
present, but also in the moment, the power of it in
Mhm.
communication. What would you like to share?
Yeah, I like to share that uh, I used to not pause. I used to go, 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 go constantly. And my coaches at the time said that they could predict when I would break down, just based on the pattern. And because I would go nonstop with no pausing. I had this old belief, old story that if I wasn't doing something all the time, that I was being lazy, I was being unproductive, I was being ungrateful. And I had all of this disempowering language around taking care of myself, which is part of pausing. I actually just had a meeting with my team this morning and said, make sure you're getting up from your computer every hour, whether it's to take that hour pause, even for 5 minutes, take a walk around the block, do some jumping jacks, dance, go get some. And I said, pause from what you're doing. And I said you'll be more productive, you'll be more creative, you'll have the good hormones flowing through your body, you'll be able to do more faster in less time when you pause. And that's what we don't understand. And I used to go, 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 and then I would break, my body would break, I'd get sick, and I'd be out of commission for 2 weeks. And so what I learned is I'm miserable, and then I get sick and am out for 2 weeks. And so I'm losing all of the time I thought I was, quote, gaining. And then having to ramp back up because I'm out of momentum. And so instead, what I've learned is that I call it my power pause. And so I gave it a name that feels good for me. I'm doing something. I'm pausing, and because it's not doing something. And so that's what I really wanted to share. It's, I had a lot of work to do this weekend, and I took Saturday and spent it with my family. And I danced in the park in the heat wave, and played and ate ices, and ran around, and went to a farm and to a party, and that's what I did. And I was fully present doing that, not thinking, oh, I gotta work, I gotta work. Jim Rohn, he said, he used to screw this up and not pause. When he would be at the beach with his family, he was thinking, I gotta work, I gotta work, I gotta work. And when he was at work, he was thinking, I gotta be at the beach. I wish I was at the beach. I wish I was at the beach. And so, and he said, it doesn't work. He said, be present with what you're doing. So that's part of pausing, is just being present, and knowing that this is part of how you win.
I love it. Thank you for bringing that to life here, Marja. And it sounds like for speaking, you got some of that encouragement as well in simply pausing
Yes.
as you communicate. It's hard for me.
Yeah.
How is it for you?
It's so powerful once you realize how powerful the pause is. You really want to use it.
Yeah. That
So
in and of
just with
itself.
me, yeah, just with me doing that, everyone kind of went like this without realizing. And I wasn't actually saying anything different. It's just, oh wait, something's about to come. And it alerts us. It heightens our alertness. And so it's a really powerful tool when we're speaking. Um, and also we're trained to think that we have to fill the silence. And when you forget what you're saying on stage, it's okay to stop speaking and just pause and wait and go back to it.
Yeah. Beautiful. I think there's it can be intertwined in a lot of what we do, whether it's actually pausing to reset ourselves or in a moment of speaking. And I will pause here. We're going to go into the breakout rooms in a moment, but AM has raised his hand. So AM, I want to give you the microphone quickly as we get ready
No,
for some
I think ladies first. Susan's there.
All right.
I'll speak afterwards.
Susan, ladies,
Yeah.
over to
Hi,
you.
good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. It's so hot in New Jersey. But Marcia, if I said your name incorrectly, I apologize. But this is such a powerful topic because I know we're gonna go to a breakout room. When you were talking, I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. Yep, 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 yep. Like a broken record. But it's so true. If you're not gonna pause in life, life is gonna make you pause. For those that are my age in our 50s, I used to feel very guilty growing up. My mother wouldn't let us even sleep in late on Saturday. I'm like, hey, can I sleep in late? It's inherited sometimes culturally and with family of keeping busy. And maybe not your family. I'm speaking about myself. So the times that I wouldn't even take naps because I felt guilty. And you know what? I had to pay the price sometimes with my body physically because it's like you go, 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 go. Like if we're supposed to be like robots. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're my age and you're in great shape, pause anyway. If you're young in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, pause. Because if not, life is going to make you pause. Whether you're spiritual or not spiritual, take the time out. Actually, when you're walking, feel the wind hitting your face. Like even be that present. If you see flowers, smell the flowers. Just don't look at them. Even touch them. It's really pausing in life and just putting the brakes once in a while and just say, "Wow, I really acknowledge myself for all the things I've accomplished." So I just want to share that. Thanks.
Thank you, Susan, for putting that in. AM, it's got to be quick because we're going into the breakouts. Anything that you want to impart before we do?
Now let's go to the breakout and then we'll talk.
All right. Well, we'll talk after the breakouts. The prompt today is, do you pause? Would a pause be valuable to put in place? And what are you discovering in this conversation? Do you pause? Would a pause be valuable? Would more pausing be valuable? What are you discovering?